to pursue brotherhood, we must remember there is only one Father, only one, who imparts identity, which makes us brothers. There's only one Father who imparts identity, and that is what makes us brothers. Listen to this verse here. Ephesians 4, verses 4 through 6 from Paul. He says this: there is one body, one community, and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call. Then he says, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. Here it comes. One God and Father of all, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. Fellas, this text is so important to us. God here wants us to know, Paul wants us to know, that inside of the community of faith, that we are brothers by nature of God imparting his identity to us. He is our Father. That makes us sons. The first relationship that we have in this life, spiritually, is with God. And through sonship, we receive an inheritance that's ridiculous. In fact, if you back up from Ephesians chapter 4 here, all the way to chapter 1, we discover that we are adopted into his family. The Father adopts us into his family. By that, we receive an inheritance as first-generation sons. And with that, you get the riches that go with that inheritance. But it comes because God gave us the opportunity to be sons through his Son. Therefore, we have a right through that inheritance. And by nature, by being a son, that makes us brothers together. Brothers. You know, in this life, you're probably going to get to wear some titles like husband and father and owner and leader. But really, you're just playing roles there. You're just playing roles because it's God who imparts identity. And the world is very confused about this today, but we don't impart identity to ourselves. It is imparted to us. And by nature of this, we experience something spiritual, something different. Remember that moment that Jesus is in a house and he's crowded around and his mother and his brothers and his sisters are outside and they're trying to get into him and someone makes that known to him and Jesus points around the room and he says, well, here are my mother and my brothers and my sisters. Why does Jesus say that? Because Jesus understands that there is something innately special about the spiritual relationship that we have with one another as brothers. There's something different about it, something above natural relationships and physical relationships that knits us together, that is different from what we experience in this life. Because God's lineage is more important. And inside of that, we experience something special, something incredible. In fact, David and Jonathan experienced it way back in the story of the defeat of David and Goliath. Remember that story? David's coming back from battle. He's got Goliath's sword in one hand and Goliath's head in the other, right? And he's coming back from battle, and all of a sudden, there's this moment where Jonathan and David and their souls are knit together. And people misunderstand the context of what's happening here, and they see homosexual illusions in it, but there is no homosexual illusion in that relationship. It's a misunderstanding from outsiders about the soul knitness that brothers experience. It's different. We are drawn together, and inside of this community, we experience something incredible and special. This is the basis of our identity, and it's the relationship through which he imparts to us all the riches of godliness.